Give us a blast from the past from the Falcons, a moment that you remember, and kind of set it up. Do the radio style, man, like how they did it inside the NFL back in the day.
A blast from the past for the Falcons.
Like a play, let you remember.
Yeah, something that was memorable to you. It could be something that meant a lot to you. I know it's a lot of them. Calling the games, it's a lot.
Well, the easy one is Ryan's pass to Jenkins.
Okay, set it up.
Okay, so here's the thing. When you start thinking about the play, it's their first possession. Okay, there's a lot going on here. Detroit's coming in. John Kitna is the starting quarterback of the Detroit Lions, and Calvin Johnson is playing for the first time as a pro in Atlanta. Okay, so Calvin Johnson's come back. Do you remember now that Boss Bailey was on that team too?
Yep.
Boss Bailey was on the Detroit Lions. So, there's a little bit of local flavor to the whole deal. But Matt Ryan, you guys remember this, Matt Ryan was controversial in terms of the pick because that was supposed to be Glenn Dorsey.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted Glenn Dorsey until we got right down to within the last week before the draft. And people were like, well, maybe we ought to take the quarterback.
Yeah.
And the quarterback had thrown, 3 blocks away his senior year. The quarterback had come to Atlanta and played Georgia Tech on a Saturday night and thrown for 400 yards. Right?
Austin Collins, yeah.
And the Falcons, brass was at the game. So they saw it. And I think Ryan, the Matt Ryan we all got to know in Atlanta is who the Falcons saw in the draft process out of Boston College. So for me, you take all that into account. You're coming off a bad year. You're Bobby Petrino, coached 13, E.T. coached the last 3 type thing. It's kind of like a turning point with a team, right? Think about it. You're either going to maintain that 3-year momentum you had a little bit of with Jim Mora, then you go Petrino, and now all of a sudden it's kind of dissolved on you. Everything seemed to be happening every 6 days. There was something else happening.
Yes.
And now all of a sudden you've hired Mike Smith, you've hired Thomas Dimitroff, and you're trying to rebuild this thing. So for me, you then think about, okay, you're playing Detroit. The next year they win no games. They had Roy Williams at wide receiver and Calvin Johnson. Right? Roy Williams out of Texas on one side, Calvin Johnson on the other.
He was a beast.
Yeah, he was. Calvin was a real beast.
Oh, man.
But Matt Ryan's first third down is his first professional pass. Now think about that.
Man,
That's a lot of pressure.
So they talked about it at they had a tribute
For Ryan, yeah.
and we went.
Oh, did you? I was there that night. It was
Yeah.
cool. Yeah,
Okay,
it was really cool.
night.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we went, and a lot of people, and you can speak to this as well. There's a certain percentage of the fan base who thinks Matt Ryan is just this button-up corporate guy, do whatever I'm told, doesn't have much personality, just bland.
Yeah, man.
They really do.
Right.
Like he's
Sure.
just a plain peanut butter and jelly with a milk lunch meal.
Sure.
There's nothing exciting. That's what a lot of people think.
Right.
But being in that room, I didn't think that of him, but being in that room, Matt Ryan is completely opposite
Correct.
of what most people have seen or they think of Matt
question.
Ryan. Can you speak to that?
Absolutely. He's a competitor. He always was a competitor. You saw bits and pieces of it in his college career, but where you really saw it, after that touchdown, he loses his mind. He's pumping everybody up and all that. But then think about things that happened like those Panther games, the New Orleans games. Matt Ryan loved to win in New Orleans more than anybody I've ever been around. Anybody. Because he took it that I'm the quarterback of the Falcons, and I want to win in this building. This is the team to beat. One thing Panthers and Falcons and Bucs fans all have in common?
What?
They hate New Orleans. The other 3 teams in the division dislike. Oh, Panther fans, growing up in North Carolina and remembering the birth of pro football there, Panther fans dislike New Orleans. Now, maybe not as much as we do, but they're close. And the Bucs aren't far behind.
Wow.
Everybody wants to beat New Orleans. And that's a good thing. The Falcons-Saints rivalry, and I've said this on the air a ton, the Falcons-Saints rivalry is a college football rivalry that just happens to occur in the NFL.
Yeah.